Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG Build Guide Edition. Today I'm ready to drop on you something new, something fresh, something that is doing very well and is very strong. This is my new Echo Rive Void Knight. And I started out leveling with this build on my new Void Knight and I realized that it is something pretty special. For this build, we're going to be covering the skills, passives, gear, blessings, and idols. And at the end of the video, I have gameplay for you as well. 2 full runs. At time of recording, we are literally walking through Corruption 200, and literally the sky could be the limit on this build. Now you might notice top left, there is a little timer going. At time of recording, we are on day 14 of my subathon, and yes, there's 222 hours on the clock. First link in the description. I'm currently recording this live on Twitch if you want to come by and hang out, play some Last Epoch, or if you have any questions about the build. Build planner and loot filter are in the description, and we're going to go through things right now. Starting with the skills. Now, Rive is our main damage dealer, and what you want to actually take first is you want to go down, and you want to grab these nodes first. Focus Strike is going to make it where Rive always crits. You never have to worry about crit chance with this build because the third swing of Rive is going to be a guaranteed crit. You then want to come top left, and this is an Echo Rive build, which means you're going to get bonus damage, multiplicative damage to your echoes, and you want the boost to your echo chance. Then you want to come to the right. And when you come to the right with this build, you're going to get multiplicative damage as well, and you're going to get a kill threshold. Rive has so many good nodes in the skill tree. This is one of those skills where you wish you had 35, 40 points. Guaranteed crit, echo with multiplicative damage, and your kill threshold. Moving over to lunge, this is going to be your movement skill. And what you want to do first is come top right. This is going to give you an additional charge. You also want to go heavily into Warrior's Renewal so that your charge or your cooldown is lowered. And then you want to come to the left. You're going to get, well, I like to call it like a health potion. Basically, every time you lunge, you're going to restore some of your missing health, and you're going to take physical penetration. Moving over to the newcomer, Healing Hands. Now, you kind of run out of positive nodes inside of Healing Hands, but ultimately, the first thing you want to take is Hammer. This is going to make it where your Rive 100% of the time triggers Healing Hands. And then you want to take everything on the right-hand side. Starting with Blade, so you got fire damage as a melee attack. And then once you have all of this, you're left with a couple of points. Now, on here, I took the negative mana, so you never have to worry about the cost on here or worried about running out of mana. And then come down here, you get some upfront healing every time you trigger Healing Hands, which is every single swing. Moving over to Volatile Reversal, I've been getting multiple questions about this skill. If I actually like it, do you think it's good, or do you just take it because there's nothing else better? I absolutely love this skill. It does so much for you, but it really does require practice and getting to know what it is capable of. This singular skill will take you back in time to restore life if you took a big hit. It will boost your attack speed. It'll boost your movement speed. It'll help you with repositioning, and enemies will take 30% more damage. It's absolutely awesome. You just got to practice it and good with it. And really, there's no right or wrong way to take this skill. Normally, I take these 3 first, then I come down and reduce the cooldown, and then I come this way and enemies take more damage. Last but not least, we are a Void Knight. We are not a Paladin, so we do have a 5th skill, and I went back into Sigils since we don't have Holy Aura. And on here, I do try to automate it a little bit through Last Wish, where you will trigger some Sigils without having to click it. We're just taking a boost to damage. We're taking global melee damage. We're taking it as an instant cast, and then we're getting an extra sigil and adding time to it. So it's just a little stat boost. And at the training dummy, while we're echoing, we're hitting for mid 250,000 damage with Rive, which is a free skill. Moving over to the passives. Starting in the base tree, right now we have 21 points into the base tree. We're just taking some melee physical, some strength, damage reduction, cooldown with life, and then we are dual wielding. We then come over to Void Knight, and we have 74 points into Void Knight. We're taking health and resistances. We're taking 100% more damage. We are taking Void Corruption, which gives us 1 point of crit multiplier for every point in this tree. So since we have 74, this is 74% critical strike multiplier because of this 1 point. We're snagging some leech. We're taking health and strength. We're taking a boost to our melee and armor on melee kill. We're getting a boost to our overall life. And then this tree up here is the most important. This is your echo. So this is going to give you a 20% echo chance. And then this final node is going to give you a 30%. So when you combine that inside your Rive tree, you're literally going to be echoing all the time. And we're taking Void Flux, which is going to help you if you're about to die every 30 seconds. We then come over to Paladin, and I just took Conviction and boosting our attunement. This one doesn't, I mean, it just gives us a little bit of resistance, but ultimately you need 15 points into this tree to unlock sigils. And our last 3 points, I first had these points here, but I actually think these last 3 are better spent with some strength and some melee damage. These last 3 points you can kind of play with and put them where you want, but right now I have them under Weapons Master. Moving over to our blessings. Crit multiplier, lightning resistance, all resistance, physical shred, and armor. Now, I went very heavily on armor, and as you can see here, right now we have over 10,000 armor. And this will actually be much higher when you are in combat. This is a very tanky boy. Looking at idols, these are the 2 idols you want. Crit strike multiplier for Rive, crit strike multiplier for Rive, and chance to shred armor on hit. I then just took life, armor and health, and then I took some resistances that I needed. Pretty simple. Now moving over to the gear. I am using a Bleeding Heart, not required. It's just very easy to get. Gives you a lot of great leech, and most of them have 2 or 3 legendary potential. Not required, but it is good to use. And then for my relic, I am using a code of the Erase Sentinel. I want as many plus to levels as possible. This is a really easy one. It also helps you with survivability and boosts your armor. So I do like this Weaver's Will in this slot. Again, not required. And you will notice there's really no gear required for this build. I will take you through each item one at a time. Helmet, echo damage strength, armor, echo damage plus to Rive, belt, physical damage cleanse, life, boots, strength, movement, armor percent, life, gloves, melee attack speed, strength, armor shred, life, ring, physical strength, ring, physical strength. And then our 2 weapons, we are using a Doomstar and we are using a Katana, because the implicits for each of these have critical strike multiplier, and Rive has a guaranteed crit. And they're both the exact same crit strike multiplier, melee physical damage base, armor shred, and physical penetration, the new node you can get in the suffix. They are identical. So that's the gear, idols, blessings, passives, and the skills. Right now we are walking through Corruption 210, and I know this build can go way higher. For me, I have to make sure I test the build. The build has to be fun, and we have to be able to push 200 Corruption fairly easily, and this one can absolutely do it. Now, I'm already getting questions, Aaron, your Unstoppable Paladin, which is in kind of the same vein, it's almost identical to this build, or this, which one's better? I'm going to be clear. Unstoppable Paladin is more tanky, and I'm going to start kind of aligning that build as the party leader, more of a support class. And if you want DPS, you should check out this build, Echo Rive. So that's the build. You now got all the goods on it, and I'm going to play 2 full runs for you so you can see the gameplay at the end. You are literally echoing your Rive the entire time. 2 asks at the end of the video. Ask number 1, hoping today is the day I have earned your subscription. I'm hoping today is the day you make the decision to push that little red button. I would really appreciate it, but of course, only if you think I've earned it. And if I haven't earned it, I'm going to work harder for you. Ask number 2, check out my Patreon. I get asked all the time, what's the best way to support? And Patreon is it. It is the second link in the description. And you get access to potentially movie night coming up, watch party. You get access to game night where we all play games together off stream on Discord. You get access to the VIP lounge. You get access to exclusive content. Patreon is the best way to support into the future. I'm done. The new build we are working on is a Void Cleave Erasing Strike Void Knight. So I look forward, or hopefully you see that in the future. Hopefully you were entertained or at least learned something. Aaron, out.
Down or die. It ends here.